I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles and the bishops at Great Millstone who labor night and day. Peace and salutations to all the men that's in GMS, Great Millstone, who are out there in highways and hedges making videos, making lessons, doing anything possible to get this word out. Peace and salutations to all the prophets. Peace and salutations to all the teachers. And peace and salutations to all the believers and supporters of this truth. And peace and salutations to all the aqua that listen in silence. May this lesson be edifying to all those that listen. And peace and salutations to the 144,000 hopeful elect. Peace and salutations to the remnant that might look like these other nations, but are in fact of the 144,000 hopeful elect remnant. Shalom. So this will be my third take on trying to do this video. I actually tried to do this video on Saturday, and I tried to do it on Sunday, but my phone kept purposely overheating. Even when I took the phone and I stuck it in the freezer, just so it could be nice and cool, and it would still overheat after 10 minutes. So if your phone is doing that, most likely somebody's hacking into your phone. But that's for another video. For all those that like hacking in the phone, those agents and FBI and all them. So let's get into this video. And we have some scriptures.
If you live in the United States and you have the ability to leave this country, you need to drop everything immediately, get your family together, and leave the United States. This country is about to explode. The racial tensions, the gasoline running out, there will not be any transportation of goods. There will not be any trucking delivering food to grocery stores. The government is going to lock the United States down, and people are going to be killing each other, fighting over canned goods and macaroni and cheese. Please, if you have the means to get out of America, to get out of the United States, go to Canada, go to Mexico. Anywhere is going to be safer than the United States. This is a powder keg, and it is about to explode. And the government is going to do all it can to contain the people. There is a bad time coming to America. Get out if you can. God loves you. I love you. If you live in the United States and you have the ability to leave this country, you need to drop everything immediately. Get your family together.
So, unfortunately, all government aid, they are going to make you get digital IDs. They're going to make you do what they want you to do in order to receive benefits. And most people are going to fold because of this. People who are on food stamps, people who have maybe a GA, any type of government assistance, your check come from the government, they're going to make you do this in order to receive money. That's just the reality of it. So, if you want to have something outside of that where they can't control you and you don't have to depend on them, take your checks, live below your means as much as possible, and start stacking elsewhere for a rainy day. Look into some investment accounts, okay? Because even compounding interest, This is what I would do. If your only nest egg is dependent on that government, you're going to be asked out, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, all government aid, they are going to make you get digital IDs. They're going to make you do what they want you to do in order to receive benefits. And most people are going to fold because of this.
This is John chapter 4, verse 44, and it reads, "For Yahushua himself testified that a prophet have no honor in his own country." So, as us being prophets and teachers out here, we're not going to be honored by our family, by some of our friends, by people on the job. We're not going to be honored by people in our own country, in our own neighborhoods. Because people honor more for the cleft low dollars, these people that steal your money. Those people get the honor. So if Yahushua, which is the only begotten Son, and it says that Yahushua himself testified that a prophet have no honor in his own country. So as the Messiah was testifying and prophesying, people did not like what he was saying and doing. More so, they're going to be that with us. So if they hated the Father, Son, they will hate you as well, as the scriptures talks about. This is Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. "Behold, the days comes, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh." So we're out here telling people about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the proper names to be used. And people are not going to want to hear that. But it's going to come a time when all these calamities are starting to take place, that's when people are going to say, hey, remember those guys that was on the corner? Remember those guys that was making those videos? That's when people are going to look for those videos, especially for those videos. Because once they don't see them on the street corner, they'll be like, oh yeah, we haven't seen them in a while. Then they're going to be looking for the videos. And they're not going to have it. Internet's going to be shut down. When all this chaos going on, we're not going to be out here preaching this word. Because that would be the famine of the word. All this stuff is going to take place. You see in other countries that they're banning street preaching. They're trying to take it away. And then look how stuff's going to be on the internet. It might be mandated that you got to have a chip just to go on the YouTube and stuff. And we're not going to do that. So then there's going to be a famine of the word. When all this chaos breaks through, everybody's going to want to know what's going on and what's going down. But since you didn't listen, but when you do want to listen, when you do want to hear the word, when you do want to have the understanding, this is what you're gonna get. Remember this. This is very easy to remember. Ezekiel 33, verse 33. "And when this comes to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet have been among them." When they start seeing the things, how we talk about how these chips are going to be implemented, When we tell you that these earthquakes are going to be coming, we just had one in Hartford, Maryland, just today, a few hours ago. What, 2.4? All this stuff is happening. We're telling you about the chip. We're telling you about the race riots that's about to come. We're telling you about the famine. They're already talking about they can't get the fertilizer out of the Strait of Hormuz. That's about to happen. And people think because gas prices go down that things are about to be better. Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. All these things are about to take place. But as you start to see these things happening with the famines and the food shortages and the chip being implemented, that it will be mandatory. That either you have it in your head or you have it in your arm. That it will be mandatory. Then you will say, I heard those guys on the street saying that. I heard those guys in those videos saying that. And then you will know a prophet had been among you. Had been among them. And the them is you that was listening, but chose not to take heed. And then you will know what's going on. But then it will be too late. Because when that famine of the word happens, you can't go back in time.
Spending more time outdoors this summer, experts say copperhead snakes are showing up earlier than usual across parts of Northern Virginia, and local hospitals already treating multiple snake bite victims. Fox 5 Sherman Roger live in Fairfax County with what you need to know. Sure. Yeah, Marina, the weather is nice. People want to be outside. And these weather patterns we've been seeing from cold to hot, certainly playing into why we're seeing more copperheads popping up here in Northern Virginia. And while experts say they generally try to avoid people, more encounters can mean more bites. They are venomous. They can be harmful to you, your pets. They can grow to about 2.5 feet long.
You can identify them by their pattern. They have a very distinctive Hershey kiss looking pattern. Looks like little Hershey kisses going down their body. And they get their name copperhead from the copper tone on the top of their head. We've removed 20 so far to date for this season. Which I think is probably a record for us this early in the season.
Yeah, Bill Crisp with K2C Snake Consultants in Northern Virginia shares these photos with Fox 5 of his recent removals, saying that he's seeing the numbers of copperheads mainly in Fairfax and Prince William County this season. He says copperheads like to hide in dense landscaping, mulch bed, wood piles, and rock piles where they can stay cool and hunt for food. His company has gotten many calls with homeowners finding them near front steps, gardens, even around swimming pools. Crisp adds that copperheads are not aggressive, typically try to avoid people and pets, but he and health officials say that bites do happen. In fact, Centara Northern Virginia Medical Center telling Fox 5 it has already treated 4 copperhead bite patients this year, and we're only in early June. Most of the bites to extremities, I'm told, feet and hands that can cause swelling, pain, and if not taken care of right away, can lead to much more serious cases.
It's just being very mindful of your surroundings, right? Don't try to go reach under anything that you can't see. Coverings and things like that. Just be very careful where you are, especially areas around water. You know, a lot of the things that you hear online or see online, tourniquets, trying to open the wound, suck the wound, things like that, don't work, right? The best thing to do is just try to get away from what bit you. You can seek medical attention right away. Keep the area clean. We can do our best to assess it when you come and see us.
Yeah, a lot of experts telling me tonight that this is happening when people are barefoot going outside, maybe taking out the trash or working on their garden, putting their hands in places that they can't really see. If you do see one of these snakes, keep your distance, call a professional. If you get bit, of course, call a professional or get medical attention. And if you can, safely take a picture. That picture is very useful for medical professionals treating you to identify exactly what kind of snake it is. Guys.
You're invited to...
The investigation continues tonight in a suspected mountain lion attack. The victim died on a Larimer County trail. And we're hearing from people who believe they saw those animals before that attack. Wildlife officers did put down 2 mountain lions found in that area.
And they are awaiting test results to determine if those 2 cats are responsible. This happened in the Crozier Mountain Trail south of Glen Haven on Thursday. Your reporter in Northern Colorado, Dylan Thomas, is joining us live from Larimer County tonight. And Dylan, you spoke with Glen Haven residents and local hikers who believe they recently encountered these animals.
One resident shared video with us of 4 mountain lions walking through her Glen Haven yard, which isn't far off from the same trail where a couple tells us they were recently surrounded by mountain lions, the same trail which a woman was recently killed on. They're pretty big in size.
They're huge.
Caught on camera, right in your backyard.
Right 10 feet from our bedroom.
Kelly Mahoney says there's been a spike in mountain lion activity around Glen Haven. So you've had this property for 10 years, but have you ever seen this much mountain lion activity?
Never. Never.
She was already on edge seeing these mountain lions, and then she learned a woman was attacked and killed by at least one this week, right next to her home.
Since the incident, it's really opened my eyes that we're in nature. They're there, they see you, but you don't see them, so it's frightening. We have to change the way we do things. It's scary.
We definitely felt that we were being hunted.
Andrew Diefenbach and Lindsay Jones were recently hiking on the same trail where the woman was killed when a mountain lion started stalking them.
We started yelling at it, throwing rocks at it, but when we did that, it actually started coming towards us, kind of slinking or stalking towards us through the brush, and that was obviously quite scary.
I was definitely in disbelief. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening.
They tried to retreat down the mountain, but then
A second mountain lion appeared, immediately jumped down and started kind of jaunting towards us in a relatively aggressive manner, showing teeth, kind of, walking sideways and slashing towards us.
And then they were surrounded.
I saw out the corner of my eye a third cat, a juvenile, that was coming up behind us. We assumed that we were going to be eaten.
Luckily, they were able to get away and reported the encounter. But when they heard someone else wasn't as fortunate,
Every single hair on my body rose. Not real surprising, just with how close we came to being in the exact same situation.
CPW is encouraging people to hike together, and if you do encounter a mountain lion, they say make yourself big, put your hands in the air, speak firmly, and slowly back away. However, they say if you are approached by a mountain lion and it attacks, it's important that you fight back. Reporting live in Larimer County, Dylan Thomas, covering Colorado First.
Good advice and reminders for everyone. Dylan, thank you. When news breaks in Northern Colorado, Dylan will be there. If you have a story idea,
Hell, I don't know the answer. What the hell's going on that all these rainforest creatures are making it through this 1,000-mile stretch of desert and into southern Arizona?
Probably bored.
Could be.
Looking for cool places to visit.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe it's just like a natural instinct to roam and expand your territory. Have you seen that photo, or the footage rather, of the jaguar that they found in Arizona?
Yeah.
That's really interesting too, right?
Amazing.
They're starting to make their way up from Mexico.
It's such a weird region because here's this huge Sonoran desert that you think none of these tropical animals can make it across, and for whatever reason, southern Arizona gets jaguars and coatimundi and peccary and all these tropical animals.
Yeah.
What the hell? I don't know the answer. What the hell's going on that all these rainforest creatures are making it through this 1,000-mile stretch of desert and into southern Arizona?
Probably bored.
Could be.
Looking for cool places to visit.
Yeah.
This is Amos, chapter 5, verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Now I can show a whole lot more stuff what's coming into America, but I'm trying to keep this very brief because I know people got short attention spans, and sometimes having shorter videos are better. But this is showing you what's going on. Baltimore, Howard County, black bear. Black bear is the smallest bear, but don't get it twisted. A black bear will fuck you around, okay? Copperhead, not the most venomous snake, but it will fuck you around. Rattlesnakes will fuck you around big time, all right? Rattlesnakes is no joke. Cottonmouth, all right? All right? Those in Virginia, I seen one. You know, when we was out there fishing, it actually came on land. When we had it on the reel, and we was fighting to get the shit off of get the cottonmouth off of the fucking reel, but we did. But yeah, their bite is not as deadly to some people, but it can be fatal. Will fuck you around too. All right. So in the Americas, you got 3 deadly snakes: rattlesnakes, copperheads, and cottonmouths. All right. And sometimes you have those red touch black killer touch yellow killer fellow. I forgot what those snakes are called, but that's a 4th one. Those are mainly in Florida, Mexico area, sometimes Arizona, and they'll fuck you around too. The whole point is that these scriptures are real and they are 100% alive. So if you think you flee from a mountain lion, all right, and from a bear, and you think, man, I done made it through all that, and then you go into a house, and then you got a damn snake inside the house that's poisonous, and you about to get fucked around. These scriptures are coming true. And to seeing that it's an influx of these animals is showing you that the Father Yahweh, through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Rakah Kadash, the Holy Spirit that activates the moving force, is showing you that these things are taking place. So this is the news. And this is not old news. That mountain lion thing was 5 months ago. And trust me, there was mountain lions not too far from the Washington, D.C. area. A couple of times. So it's about to go down. These scriptures are coming alive. If you don't want to take heed to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, you're going to find out. You're going to find out the hard way. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. This is talking about that chip that is coming. Yeah, it's coming. That's what that girl was talking about. Saying that y'all going to get weak because your food stamps and all your Medicaid stuff going to get cut off. This is talking about the mark. The RFID chip that is coming. And they might bring it through martial law. They might bring it through saying it's going to, and I said this before, and it's amazing how I see other people saying it. They might try to stage this fake alien invasion and say, just like the show V, you know, they want to show that these aliens look just like us. We don't know if you could be an alien. So you got to get the chip so we know that you're not an alien and that you're a human being. All that type of bullshit. They're going to find a way to implement this chip. Trust me. We don't know how it's going to be implemented, but we know that it's coming. But we're going to be aware that it's coming. We're going to know that this is the plan that is set up through the Heavenly Father to see who's going to be riding with the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son and who's not. But this is for the children of Israel. It don't matter if these heathens want to not take it. Oh, that's the mark of the beast. It don't matter. They're a heathen. It don't matter. It only matters for the children of Israel. You see it right there. It's right there. Should all inmates be microchipped? Let's get into it.
Oh, hey! Didn't see you there. Microchipping inmates is not a completely new subject. You've seen it in the movies.
You're now under my control.
On TV shows. Right there. Whoa. On the TikTok.
Microchip implants are here and have been here.
But what if there was a technology out there that accomplishes the same goal as microchipping while being less invasive? For those of
Nevada lawmakers speak. What does that say? What does that say? What does that say? What does that say? That says 9 years ago. Let's get into it.
State lawmakers are considering a bill that would ban microchips from being implanted in people. Similar microchips are currently used to track merchandise, find lost pets, and make credit card purchases. Now, Republican State Senator Becky Harris is worried they could someday end up in humans. The ACLU says there is no urgent need to protect humans, but they agree the technology would violate privacy rights and raise serious concerns.
Tech companies propose putting microchips inside of prisoners. Here it is.
So a digital rights group called Foxglove has just obtained meeting minutes from a UK government roundtable where Google, Microsoft, Amazon, IBM, and Palantir were all proposing, surgically implanting chips, like microchips, inside prisoners in order to track their behavior and their location in real time. And here's the thing about all of that. You see, that meeting took place a little over a year ago, and those proposals have been sitting under consideration for that entire year, and nobody knew about it until a few days ago when those minutes were made public. And according to Ministry of Justice sources, none of those proposals have been ruled out. They're all still on the table. Now, if you've been following me for a while, then you already know why my face looks like this. Because last year, I published a 7-part investigation called Who TF is in My Head, and it was about Elon Musk and his company Neuralink, and about the potential for experimentation on incarcerated people, potentially, allegedly, when it comes to testing this technology, allegedly.
Do I have to say it out loud? Number one, this is a pretext to create the context to knock on your door. Okay? This isn't just for prisoners. Look at the companies who are involved. These companies are end consumer companies, meaning the consumer is the one buying the end product. These are not companies that typically deal with just prisoners as their end consumer. You're talking about companies whose end consumer is you and I. Number one. Two, prisoners still have rights. Those who are incarcerated, 99% of them come home eventually. So prisoners still have rights. And do they have a right to say no to this proposal?
And lastly, if this happens, which we are hoping it doesn't, it's a ridiculous idea and erodes more of your sanctity and rights as a human being. If this happens, well, that means that wherever they go, once they are released, individuals who are formerly incarcerated, do they keep the chip? So that means everywhere they go, the chip is still activated, even in your home and restaurants, et cetera, et cetera. It's a never-ending story.
We will continue to bring you updates on this insanity. It is unfortunate that we even have to address it. And once again, who's the guinea pig? Well, those they feel as if are the least of these. You're a person of faith. You already know that's not how it works. Indisputable is still the fastest growing news show in America.
Unfortunately, Simon Phoenix was not coded. While you were sleeping, everyone in the city was installed code. It was a brilliant idea by Dr. Cocteau that an organically bioengineered microchip be sewn into the skin. Sensors all over the city can zero in on anyone at any time.
I can't even conceive a visual of what you police officers did before it was developed. We work for a living. As fascist crap makes me want to puke.
What do you think you're scratching, caveman? You really think we'd let you go without control? Your code was implanted the second you thawed.
Why didn't you just shove a leash up my ass?
No matter how Viking your era was, I cannot digest how you ever wore a badge. You're going back, John Spartan. Oh, yes, you're going back.
Make it.
Waiting for commands. Voice check, Lenina Huxley.
Unfortunately, Simon Phoenix was not coded. While you were sleeping, everyone in the city was installed code. It was a brilliant idea by Dr. Cocteau that an organically bioengineered microchip be sewn into the skin. Sensors all over the city can zero in on anyone at any time.
I can't even conceive a visual of what you police officers did before it was developed. We work for a living. As fascist crap makes me want to puke.
What do you think you're scratching, caveman? You really think we'd let you go without control? Your code was implanted the second you thawed.
Why didn't you just shove a leash up my ass?
And that, so you know what? When they had that part right there, that's what they're doing. When they give these chips to these people, especially those that are convicts, that's what they might do too. Take that chip and stick it up in your ass. Yeah. Where you can't get it out. If you've seen the movie, what's it called? Something State. Hold on, let me try to bring that up. I'm not gonna play the movie because I don't want this video being too long. But this is called Captive State, and this is the scene where they was removing the implant in the body. You should watch this movie. You can watch it on YouTube for free. Or Hulu or whatever the fuck. But it talks about implants. And basically aliens have came. Slovakia. And that's what it's talking about. And it's a good movie. And they talk about that the hunters are coming. Which, you know, they solely got that from the Holy Scriptures when they wasn't doing what's right. And they think that they can actually beat the hunters, which it represents Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. But yeah, it's a good movie. Make sure you watch it. Captive State has the scene in there when they have the implants. So I want to give all glory and definite glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles and the bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, who labor night and day. To all the prophets that are out there on the highways and hedges making videos, lessons to get this word out. Peace and salutations to all the teachers that's out there teaching, making videos, out there on the highways and hedges, doing anything they can to get this word out. For those of the hopeful elect and the remnant that might look like these nations And for the Aqua that's out there listening in silence, hope that this lesson was edifying. It took 3 days to make this damn video. Shalom.